There is a moment in every creator's life, in every dreamer's journey, when the world looks at an idea and calls it impossible. Not unrealistic, not unlikely, impossible. A word designed to shut doors, to silence ambition, to push extraordinary minds back into ordinary patterns. But every once in a while, someone hears that word and smiles. Someone hears it and thinks, good. Now I know I'm onto something. Think about two names that echo across the modern world. MrBeast, Elon Musk. One of them built an empire by giving things away. The other built an empire by daring to reach beyond the sky. One started with a cheap microphone, a camera, and a stubborn obsession with figuring out the YouTube algorithm. The other sat alone as a kid reading science fiction and wondering how rockets truly worked. On the surface they seem wildly different. But deep down they share something powerful. A willingness to live at the edge of what others believe is possible. A decision to make the impossible their playground. Now imagine, for a moment, being in their shoes long before the world knew their names. Imagine being Jimmy Donaldson, uploading videos at 13, 14, 15 years old, getting 10 views, maybe 100 if he was lucky. Imagine the silence after pressing upload. No applause, no spotlight, just a belief that something inside him mattered enough to keep going. And imagine Elon Musk, trying to convince the world that reusable rockets were not only feasible but necessary. People laughed. Experts dismissed him. Headlines mocked him. Governments doubted him. Investors avoided him. Yet he moved forward anyway. Not because the odds made sense, but because the mission did. There is something extraordinary about people who continue to walk when there is no guarantee the path will take them anywhere. Something powerful about people willing to endure the quiet years. The years when everything looks uncertain. When success is just a distant hope and failure is right there breathing down your neck. Everyone sees the spectacular wins. Everyone sees the giant restaurants MrBeast builds in a day. The massive giveaways. The oceans cleaned. The challenges with stakes so large they feel unreal. Everyone also sees the rockets landing upright. The electric cars transforming transportation. The satellites forming constellations above us. But what no one sees is the invisible weight they carried before the world recognized their genius. And that weight is something we all feel. You might feel it right now. The weight of an idea that seems too big for you. The weight of a dream that scares you the moment you admit it out loud. The weight of knowing that if you start, you might fail. And worse, you might fail in front of people who doubt you. But here is a truth that echoes through the journeys of both MrBeast and Elon Musk. Impossible ideas are only impossible until someone makes them real. Jimmy spent thousands of hours studying YouTube. Not casually. Obsessively. He watched hundreds of creators, counted frames, analyzed thumbnails pixel by pixel, tracked patterns, tested experiments, and repeated this cycle until he cracked a code that even YouTube itself had not fully understood. He mastered attention by earning it. And he earned it by caring more than anyone else. Elon Musk studied rockets the same way. Not with a team of experts at first, but alone. He read textbooks cover to cover, researched the physics of propulsion, analyzed engineering problems, and learned until he could speak with experts as one of them. He walked into industries that were considered untouchable and said, "Why not me?" And that question is a spark. It is a rebellion. It is a declaration that you are willing to try, even when the world expects you to quit. Why not you? Why not your idea? Why not your ambition? Why not your dream? Some people think success belongs to the chosen. That it belongs to the talented, the gifted, the wealthy, the privileged, the connected. But when you look closely at stories like MrBeast and Elon Musk, you discover something else entirely. Success belongs to the relentless. It belongs to the people who keep showing up. The ones who fail forward. The ones who learn faster than they break. The ones who treat setbacks as tuition. The ones who expect struggle and embrace it anyway. The ones who understand that greatness is not a moment. It is a lifestyle. Think of how many videos Jimmy made before anything went viral. Think of the countless experiments, the nights with no sleep, the days spent recording and re-recording, the weeks editing when no one cared. Think of the conversations Elon Musk had where people told him it would never work, the meetings where doors closed in his face, the companies he nearly lost, the personal risk he took again and again. These journeys were not fueled by luck. They were fueled by perseverance. By obsession. By commitment so deep that quitting did not feel like an option. And this is where the lesson becomes universal. You do not need to build rockets. You do not need to build the largest YouTube channel on the planet. You do not need billions of views or billions of dollars. But you do need the same courage they had. The courage to begin. The courage to stay. The courage to dream beyond the limits placed on you. Right now, there is something you want. Something personal. Something you have been afraid to chase. Maybe it is a creative project. Maybe it is a business. Maybe it is a skill or a craft or a mission that matters deeply to you. Something that pulls at you when you're trying to sleep. Something that refuses to let go. And maybe you've been waiting. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for more confidence. Waiting for permission. Waiting for someone to say, now is the moment. But here is the reality. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. And what you do with now determines everything that comes next. MrBeast did not wait for permission to start creating. Elon Musk did not wait for permission to innovate. They moved because they believed progress comes from action, not approval. You might think your dream is too big. You might think you are not ready. But every person who ever achieved something extraordinary began before they felt prepared. Began scared. Began unsure. Began with questions, not answers. Greatness is not about knowing everything. Greatness is about refusing to let what you don't know stop you. Let's pause for a moment and reflect on something important. Both of these men took ideas that sounded absurd and turned them into global movements. MrBeast asked what would happen if someone used entertainment to genuinely improve people's lives. Not just to entertain them, but to impact them. To help them. To surprise them with generosity. To inspire millions to care about causes that matter. And in doing so, he redefined the entire landscape of modern content. Elon Musk asked what would happen if someone took humanity's biggest problems and treated them like puzzles instead of excuses. What if we could shift the world to sustainable energy? What if we could land rockets, lower the cost of space travel, and open the door to becoming a multi-planet species? What if technological progress was not just inevitable, but urgent? These questions changed history. But the power behind them was not brilliance alone. It was action. It was courage. It was consistency. It was an almost unreasonable belief that if they worked long enough and hard enough, the world would eventually catch up. And here is where the message becomes clear. You don't need to be MrBeast or Elon Musk to live boldly. You don't need their scale or their resources or their spotlight. What you need is their mindset. The willingness to take your idea seriously. The willingness to experiment. The willingness to fail publicly. The willingness to improve relentlessly. The willingness to dream so loudly that doubt cannot silence you. Every person listening to this has a spark inside them. A spark that could change their life. A spark that could change someone else's life. A spark that could change the world in ways you cannot yet imagine. But sparks mean nothing if they never become flames. Think of everything you admire about these two figures. The creativity, the innovation, the impact, the audacity. And realize this, they were not born with certainty. They built it. They were not born with influence. They earned it. They were not born with a guarantee of success. They created that success through decisions repeated thousands of times. You have that same power. You have the power to wake up tomorrow and step toward the life you want. You have the power to start small. To take one step. To test one idea. To practice one skill. And then to do it again. And again. And again. Until momentum starts working for you. Your dream is not too big. Your dream is too important to ignore. Let the world call it impossible. Let the critics laugh. Let the doubters whisper. Let the obstacles challenge you. All of that is part of the journey. All of that is normal. What matters is what you do next. MrBeast kept creating. Elon Musk kept innovating. And you can keep moving. This is your story. Your journey. Your impossible idea waiting to be made real. So take a deep breath. Feel the weight of your potential. Feel the truth of what you already know deep down. You are capable of more than you think. You are stronger than you realize. You are closer than you believe. And the world needs the version of you that is bold enough to try. The world needs your courage, your creativity, your resilience, your passion. And maybe, years from now, someone will look at your journey the way we look at theirs. Someone will say your name is an example of what it means to dream fearlessly. To act boldly. To believe relentlessly. Impossible is just a word. And words only have the meaning we give them. Give yours a new meaning. Start now, keep going, and turn your impossible into reality.